Hey everybody, welcome to my live stream. How's it going? Anybody there? Ryan, you there, dude? Hey, so I want to talk about, I just posted a video. If you haven't watched it yet, click it. It's a short, it's 1 minute long. It says Mexico border is insanity. I don't know how to play this on like here, but I'm learning live streams, so just bear with me, guys. I'm figuring all this out as we go live. Hopefully I talk to the camera so you guys can see me, but post a comment if you're in there. And I want to talk about like here, maybe I could just play. This could be kind of cool. What if hey dude, what's up, man? So let me play the video. And then have you watched, Ryan, the short video, Mexico border is insanity? Did you watch that? It's 1 minute long. Hey Mark, how's it going, man? Cool. Hey, so I want to like this video is a little vulgar, so bear with me, but I wanted to talk to you guys about your thoughts on it and just see if it sparks a conversation. So it's a little crazy, but I'm going to do this. Okay. So that's a lot, right? I don't know if that's the topic we want to talk about. Mark, I know you have limited time, man. So if you want to talk about something else, we can, or get my perspective, I'd be happy to share it. But I just watched that this morning and I was like, wow, when he talks about like getting the kids to watch TikTok and Snapchat and just be distracted, you know, any dad that has a family, like you guys know, it's crazy. Okay, you can't hear my audio. Let's see. Can you hear it now? You couldn't hear the audio of the video, but you could hear me, Mark. Is that it? I think that's what you're trying to say, is you could see the video, but you couldn't hear it. See, and I wish you guys could not just text, but we could do a live. Some way I'll figure out a way where we can do that. But anyway, this is what it is for right now. You gotta type fast, I guess. So, but like my comments, okay, you can hear me, but no video. Okay, so basically I made you stare at a screen for a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. I'll get better at that. So if you want to take a pause, I just posted that video on my channel. It's just a short, so you could click it and watch it. But basically, just to surmise what he's saying is the border's so crazy. I mean, we're literally just inviting terrorists, drugs, whatever we want to just flow into the country, and we have no control over it, and we have no protection. Like there's like no rules, and it's just crazy to me. I don't know if you guys think that's crazy, but like how can this be? We, you know, and is it like, feel free to chime in, is it because people just want votes and they need an extra 10 million people to vote for them? Is it we need a cheaper labor force? You know, I get that. I've seen videos where you know, they try and hire Americans to get watermelons in a field, and one American can lift like, I don't know, 10 watermelons in, you know, 15 minutes or whatever. And and somebody from Guatemala or wherever they're from, Honduras or something, does hundreds and fills the whole truck in like an hour or whatever, and the American did like 12. So I get that, but should we have open borders? Do you guys agree with that? Is it not insanity? Like, that's what the video said, Mexico border is insanity. What do you guys think? Possibly do a Zoom chat and put it on YouTube. Yeah. Mark, yeah, I'm like totally open to all this stuff. I'm just learning. So Ryan said, if you can't see this, it's all part of something much bigger. What do you think's much bigger, Ryan? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And Mark, I know you got to go. Did you have any specific questions? I think your question was my perspective on military with the current administration. Did you want me to talk about that a little bit? Kind of goes off of the border crisis, but you could just say yes, Mark, if that's what you wanted me to talk about. No borders pushed my Soros. I don't fully know what that means. But by Soros? I don't know who Soros is, Ryan. That's a good idea, Mark. Do a Zoom chat and put it on YouTube. I'll have to research how to do that. If you know how to do that, tell me. But I don't know who Soros is, Ryan. I guess I could look it up real quick. Who's Soros? Is that a company? George Soros? Is that who you're talking about? Prominent international supporter, democratic ideals and causes for more than 30 years. Philanthropist. Wealthiest man in the world. Pretty sure Musk is the wealthiest man in the world, but maybe it's debatable. Hungarian, huh? Okay, so that's who you're talking about, George Soros. So, yeah, okay, born in Budapest. Did you know I lived in Hungary for almost 6 months? Mark knew that. I did. I never met George Soros, though. Cool. So, share your thoughts on George Soros. I know you got to type them out, Ryan, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. Mark, you still there, dude, or do you have to go? I think Mark had to bail out. Well, Ryan, you and I can, hey, if you guys, just so you know, if you have to leave, it's not a big deal. Just say like bye so I know you're gone. Because I can see 2 people are on the chat, but I can't tell who it is. You could keep on topic to the border, perhaps another time talk about military veterans active duty as far as their opinion on how current military is going. Cool, man. That sounds good. I kind of wanted to talk about, is the reason, the borders are open so that the enemies can come in and infiltrate America and turn it into whatever. I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched these, but Tucker Carlson and Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan's the guy that was on that video, the bald head. He's a former Navy SEAL and CIA agent. Him and Tucker talked for like 3 hours, and they attributed it. Mark, you would really like this, to, and Brian too, maybe. Hopefully, a lot of people that watch this, that the problem is not like the Chinese versus the Americans or the Russians versus, Germany or Ukraine or whatever, Israel versus Hamas. It's spiritual, and it's darkness versus light, good versus evil. I believe, God and Jesus versus Satan. But if you're international or you're watching something else, you might attribute the supernatural as something different, and that's fine. But I think that's not talked enough about. And hopefully I'm saying this properly. It needs to be talked about more, that there's the spiritual realm, there's spiritual warfare going on at all times, good versus evil. We could just say that, bad versus good. And it's not, and almost like humans are like pawns. Like if we can destroy each other because we're made in God's image, then the enemy, darkness, whoever, Satan, wins because his chief enemy is God. And if he can destroy mankind, then he destroys God's beautiful creation. And I think part of the border crisis is that we've allowed people to infiltrate the country to just do whatever they want without any kind of control, because the enemy, as I'll say it, whoever that is in the spiritual realm, wants us to destroy each other from within. And I don't know about you guys, but you're correct, not political. Cool. Thanks, Ryan. I think I was going on something. Cool. Hey, what's up, Savage? How's it going, dude? Welcome to my first official live stream. So we're talking about the border crisis and just like if it's supernatural, spiritual, if you believe in God or good and evil, Satan versus Jesus type of stuff. I'm doing great, man. I definitely think there's a spiritual aspect to it because, here's what I was going to say. Remember when COVID happened? And like, I remember what scared me was watching a video the first few weeks of when COVID was starting, and it was in Italy. And there was these trucks with body bags in the back. And I'm like, holy cow, like this is crazy. And I remember going to Walmart and buying like a bunch of water and food and like basics to be like, the shit is going to hit the fan. Like we're in big trouble. And it was bad. Obviously, COVID was bad. But I really thought that society as a whole would have a breakdown. I thought we'd like lose power, struggle to get water, like the grid would go down. We'd have, internet problems, Wi-Fi problems, like people wouldn't be able to, work. The economies would kind of really shift. Do you guys agree? Like, I feel like COVID, the world, as crazy as it was, traversed that very well. Our shortage was toilet paper and hand sanitizer, which is like, toilet paper, who would have picked that one? But like we never lost power. We never had water issues. We had some shortage on supplies. You had to wait on things, but it was never like you're having to live in a tent and go all primal, to survive. And I am just curious that because we traversed that so well in the economies, and even though, okay, America's biggest enemy is China, okay, well, why? Or North Korea or Iran, well, why? Is it because those other countries are jealous of our prosperity and they want that? Is it is it an evil, is there an evil side, supernatural, where it's like, well, if I can get millions and billions of people to fight each other, then they'll destroy each other? It doesn't matter what country they're from or what skin color or whatever. God is in control. I agree, man. But I wonder if allowing the borders to be open and stuff, if there isn't a lot more turmoil in America, like what I was talking about, the grid goes down, churches, Mark, are limited with being open or whatever. Obviously COVID, churches closed and things like that. But like, is, Tucker and Sean talk about civil war. They talk about World War III. They talk about us fighting amongst ourselves. And I just wonder if we're on like the brink of that. I don't know that it's that bad. Somebody was saying, if you look at world history, things are really pretty good in America. But I think hopefully, Ryan, you and Mark can both agree. We're just on this, like, I feel like downward trek of, not, I don't know if the word's progressing, but like just not thriving. And just kind of going through the status quo, like a bunch. I think his name was Eric Prince was saying, you know, we need to get off our couches and stop watching shows and football or, you know, sports and go talk to our congressman or go talk to our representatives, go talk to the mayor, go talk to the governor, go talk to the, if you don't like that kids are being taught, you know, that they could be a boy or a girl in kindergarten, then like, what are you doing as a dad? What are you doing as a pastor? What are you doing as a person in the United States that has an opinion on that? And are you going in and voicing your opinion, saying anything? Are you standing up for your kids? Are you standing up for rights? Is it constitutional? Is it non-constitutional? So that's kind of where I want to have this conversation, and I hope to want to have it weekly, and hopefully it gets better and better. I know I'm basically talking and you guys are, you know, just listening, maybe posting. Locals what matters. Yeah, meet your neighbors. Like, that's so right on. And I feel like, don't you feel like this, Ryan? A lot of people just stay in their little bubble. They stay in their house. They've got their phone. They've got their little world, their cyber world, and they don't talk to the neighbors. We don't do cookouts with each other. We don't meet at the pool and, you know, on a hot summer day and hang out and just relax. It's like the world has kind of changed, and as cool as technology is, like you said, local, we're not tapping into that. And I think the enemy is orchestrating that, because like we can't connect. Like if we don't connect, then we die basically. Tell me what you're saying about Fox News and CNN, Ryan, and I'll chime in on it. So anyway, but like I felt compelled after watching videos like the one that I showed that you couldn't hear the audio, but we're just talking about the crisis on the border and what's happening to our kids and all those things. Yeah. You're saying, Ryan, when we don't talk, yeah, we need to learn from relationships. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. We have to talk to each other like community, and that's the way God wired us and stuff. Anyway, every time I read a post, I go off track. So sorry, guys. I'll try and stay on target. But there's a lot in my heart. A lot of you guys might know, wherever it is, I was a scout sniper. Why is this so hard? It's opposite. Anyway, in the Marines, so I have a lot to. Thanks, stand up, dude. I'll try, man. Welcome to the channel. Are you a loyal subscriber? Have you been, subscribing to Meet Brandon for a long time? Let me know. Stand up, dude. Anyway, I feel like there's a lot that we should be talking about, and not just talking, but like action and standing in the gap. In case you guys don't know, I'm a dad. I'm 42. I have 2 kids, a third on the way, and I just look at life different. Cool. Thanks. Stand up, dude. How old are you, man? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. I just have a lot in my heart, that I want to get out. Sweet, man. Me too. Nice. What part of the country in? I just feel like there's so much we can talk. Facts, less talk, more action. Yeah. So Ryan, but how do we do that? Like what kind of actions? I like that you said local. Are you saying like we need to go to the PTSA or what? I don't even know what they're called, the school meetings, the board meetings, go talk to the mayor, go talk to town hall. I've never done any of this stuff ever. And maybe that's bad. And maybe that's why we're talking, because there's a lot of people like me that are just sitting on the couch, kind of going through the motions and saying, well, the country's going to crap, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to watch football and baseball and do my thing. I think that's part of the problem. Cool. Stuart, what's up, dude? Is that Stuart White? Say hi. Let me know if it is. Thanks, man. What's up, dude? First kind of real live stream. So just in case you're wondering, we're kind of talking about the border, and then it's kind of hybrided to Ryan made a good point. He's like, yeah, go to the school board, talk to your mayor, talk to your governor. Like, if you don't like how things are, like, be a voice and go in and try and make a change. Obviously, I don't believe this. Maybe you guys do, but I don't think the vote matters. If you've seen that'll open up a total can of worms. But if you look at what's happened the last 8 years, 12 years in the elections, pretty shady shit, right? So, and then Trump gets assassinated. They knock off Biden, and all right, bro, see you, dude. They knock off Biden, and then Kamala comes in. And then, have you guys heard the theory that Obama is the one orchestrating it? That he's called Biden was like, "You're stepping down. Kamala's in. If Kamala doesn't do well in the next month, we're gonna cut her out too." Have you guys heard that one? That one's pretty interesting. But yeah, Ryan, just going back to what you said, I don't know like where to start. Like, have any of you guys actually gone to like a council meeting or a school board or talk to the mayor? Like, I don't even know how to do that. I'm sure we could figure it out. But like, Stuart, would you agree? Like, that's pretty important. Like, when we're thinking about our kids going to school and they're taught transgender and race and all this type of stuff, is it like, does it compel you to want to go and be like, yeah, I want to talk to the school board because I don't agree with this and it's wrong. And for me as a kindergartner, I don't want my daughter. I shared this with an uncle who's very liberal out in Oregon. And his response was something about like, well, she's just stating her opinion. But I was like, a 5-year-old that can't tie their shoes and can't, say her ABCs is going to know that she wants a penis and to be a boy at 5? That's fucked up. There's no fucking way. And sorry for the F word, but like, that's just bullshit. And so then for a teacher to say, well, that's okay, sweetie. Like, yeah, you can have a penis if you want and be a boy anytime you want. That's just wrong. That's that teacher or that whoever influencing a little kid that doesn't barely know right from wrong to now thinking about and conjuring up, well, I could be a boy today or a girl. And I don't know if you guys saw the Olympics where the boxing thing, I forgot what country the person was from, but it's like a guy fighting a girl and he kicked her ass. And you're like, it's not fair. It's not right. It's like, come on. Some females are pretty butch and tough, but like, let's be honest. Most guys can overpower a woman, and I'm not sexist or anything. It's just like physical power, the strength that a man has over a woman. It's like undeniable. So why would we want to? Anyway, I should move to Tennessee. That's where Stuart's at. Ryan and Stuart, you guys should become friends. Stuart's in Nashville. Ryan, you're in Nashville too. So I got 2 Nashville guys on here. You guys should message each other. Anyway, like, I know I'm kind of tangenting all over the place. I really wish we had like a Zoom where we could talk and go back and forth. Stuart, if you have maybe hit me up later and tell me like how we can make this better where it's more interactive. And I don't know if we could do like a Zoom where we've got, 4 or 5 talking heads or whoever launches in and we could record it. Multi-pronged approach for sure. Need to reach out to protect locally through political and legal means, but ultimately only change comes to heart level, which is Jesus. I totally agree, man. You missed it, Stu. At the beginning, we were kind of talking about everything that's going on, chaos with like the border or with like transgender theory or, all the stuff that's going on the political scheme with the assassination attempt and stuff. It all leads to a spiritual realm that's going on. Good versus evil, Jesus versus Satan, dark versus light, however you want to describe it. There's, spiritual warfare that's happening 24/7. And that's the real battle is the enemy, whoever we want to call that, Satan or whatever, is trying to get us to fight and kill each other because we're made in God's image. And that we have to fight against that. Like, our enemy isn't the Chinese or the Iranians or the Russians. Like, the enemy is spiritual warfare. Like, the enemy is demons. It's Satan. It's like not giving in to that temptation to want to fight and kill. But, I'm a stinking, I cannot point at this. I'm a stinking sniper. I was a professional trained killer. But I don't want to kill humans. I don't even like killing like little animals. I hate it when a little bird dies or something like that. Like God's creation. I hate that. So why would we think we want to? Yeah, that's it. Flesh and blood, spiritual principalities and powers is totally it. But Stu, don't you feel like that's not being talked about enough? It's it's Russia versus Ukraine. It's Israel versus Hamas. It's America versus China or Russia or whatever, and it's like man against man, and it's really not. And that's the deceit I think that the enemy has is like, um, I don't fish for this reason, like, is that the real, I think that is the backbone of what's really going on. And unless you're a Christian per se, I don't know other religions, how they view the spiritual, but, um, the Bible is very clear that there's, yeah, a spiritual battle going on all the time. And that if, you know, the enemy wants us to be blind to that and think that it's flesh and blood all the time. And that's what we all the time are thinking about. And so I think that's where even having the eternal perspective, like you said, Stu, which is Jesus, change comes from the heart. Unless you have the eternal perspective, is like I die and I go to heaven to be with Jesus or whatever. That's what we believe as Christians. But do a lot of people believe that? And like, if you don't, then where do you go? And that sort of thing. I don't know, I'm tangenting a little bit, but I'm trying to, it's really hard when you live stream to like spit out your thoughts and be constructive with them. I don't know if you guys have done that before. I'm finding it to be challenging. It's fun. I like the challenge, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where, yeah, it's just a spiritual battle. And if you're not thinking eternally minded, like that, Satan's main goal is to destroy God's creation. It's destroy the earth, destroy humans, animals, anything that's alive that God created. He wants to totally wipe it out, whether it's nuclear war, whether it's AI, whether it's, us killing each other with bayonets, back in the Civil War. It's always been that spiritual principalities luring us to try and wipe each other out because, um, let's read what Stuart said. I think a shepherd analogy fits. A shepherd cares for the sheep, feeds them, protects them, etc. Think of that as the spiritual heart level that all allows human beings to require, but many do not have. Yeah, dude. Yeah. See, and I like the shepherd analogy because I don't know if you've seen American Sniper, but the opening scene, the dad's sitting there and he says, there's sheep, there's wolves, and there's sheepdogs. You guys remember this? It's like one of my favorite scenes. He's got the belt. You're going to be a sheepdog. And like, I feel like a sheepdog, I feel like God put me on the planet to protect people, to kind of, not lord over the sheep, but really protect the sheep. You fight off the wolves and you fight off principalities and things like that. Stu, you said the other part is the stuff that comes and threatens. Yeah, the shepherd will fight those things. Yeah, so what I'm saying, stuff we have to fight more direct, would be political and legal stuff. Yeah, and I won't lie, Stu, I'm not good at that stuff. I've never been good at fighting the political and legal stuff. And maybe it's ignorance. Yeah, ultimately the heart change is the solution, because it's almost like talking to a brick wall. Like, you could have your viewpoints and stuff, but unless the heart is the same, it's not gonna connect. I think that's what you're saying, right? So yeah, so where do we go from here other than just like taking small steps? So my goal of this channel and the live streams is to get more guys like you on here talking and sharing, and like, let's make a battle plan. And I also want to prove, like, I hope people come on the channel, Meet Brandon, and that don't agree with what we're talking about and share their viewpoint. Because like, I had a friend that was Palestinian and he was very pro-Palestinian in the Marine Corps. And he would always ask me, as a Christian, an American, like, you guys always support Israel. he's like, but my brothers and sisters and cousins are dying in Palestine. And it was really amazing to talk to him because I felt bad sometimes. My heart did feel bad. Now, this is when I was in 18, 19, 20s, you know, really young and immature and stuff. But I did remember thinking, yeah, I've always supported Israel. But why? Because I was taught to. But then you have to go, well, there's 2 million people or whatever that live in the Gaza Strip. There are 2 million human beings that are trying to do life the same way that we are, raising families, talking about the things we're talking about, trying to be normal humans. They're not like breeding terrorists to go destroy the planet. There might be, you know, Hamas might have snuck in 30,000 insurgents into Gaza from Iran or whatever. But that's the same thing too. Now I'm tangenting, but like we think, okay, 30,000 terrorists from Iran, and we just think all Iranians are bad. That's not true. I mean, I fought in Iraq. 99%, you know, 95% of people didn't give a shit about what was going on. Like, didn't like, we're not terrorists, did not hate America, you know, and I don't think that's talked about enough. Like, the kids loved us. I mean, granted, we threw them candy and stuff, so that's why they liked us. But like, war is hell. But like, it goes back to like what we were talking about at the beginning. The enemy wants us to fight amongst ourselves. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, Jew versus, you know, Palestinian, you know, white versus black, you know, like I said, Iraq in America, you know, terrorist, or, you know, all that to say, yeah, I keep losing my train of thought, man. I have so many like things I want to say. Yeah, I just think that, yeah, the story I was going to say with the Palestinians was I think it's healthy for us to hear the other perspective and to listen. And that's where the whole race with Trump and Kamala Harris and the Democrats and the Republicans, it seems so divided because I feel like neither side is listening. Like, the Democrats have some great points. The Republicans have some great points. Why can't we come together and kind of find that happy medium? And some of you guys might say, oh, neither one has good points. Well, that's ignorance, because you're wrong. There are good points on both sides, and we need to like come together and find that commonality. You guys could disagree with me with that if you wanted to. But that's my whole point, is I feel like the enemy wants us to be, oh, you're blue, so you have this stance. You're red, you have this stance. And we're so separate, but really like certain things we connect on. And maybe it's only 25% or 20%. But like, let's talk about that and build on the strength of like the commonality that we have. Even though so like, where is it always said, like, you know, your workforce, like 20% of your workforce does 80% of the work. And so then the 80% isn't doing. So let's focus on that 20%, that small like crack that we can tap into, and like, let's grow that and work on that and have healthy conversations where we can agree to disagree, but like, let's not like kill each other over this. It's not life and death. It's like, okay, somebody might have a different opinion about a 5-year-old being told that it's okay for a little girl to have a penis. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, but I would like to hear your perspective on why you think that's okay. And I might be a little hostile to you on like my opinions, but I don't hate you as a human. I would just, like Stuart said, I'd pray there's a heart change, right, Stu? And I think, Ryan, you're saying that too. See, Ryan, thanks for hanging out, man. Anyway, I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So I don't want to belabor this. I see there's 3 people on there. Stuart, I know you're still here. Who's the other 2 people? Say hi in the chat, and let me know if you want to talk about anything. Stu, I'm probably going to hang it up here somewhat soon because I don't just want to belabor and just kind of rattle on stuff. But do me a favor, hit me up. Let's talk about how to do these better. And cool, man. Thanks. I'd be curious how to do it better and what to do next. And yeah, man. Anybody else that's watching this, I'm hoping to make these into maybe some little 1-minute snippet videos, and then you guys can watch those too if you missed a highlight or whatever. But I'm excited the direction of Meet Brandon. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm really thankful to Ryan, Mark, Stu. Who else was on here? Savage and Stand Up Dude. You 5. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for interacting. I am hoping to do these on Fridays and maybe Saturdays. So hopefully they'll be a regular time, but we'll get there. Stu, text me after this and we'll connect if we need to do a little phone call or whatever. If you're free, I would love to do that. But anyway, thanks for watching Meet Brandon. Thanks for these topics. Let me know what you want to talk about. Watch my other videos, watch the shorts, post a comment, say what you want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the hog's tooth at some point and make a video on that. But thanks, everybody. God bless. See you later.